So what's the solution? Right? What's the solution? Let me just tell you one thing. If anyone is going to the internet for any one of these three reasons, you're looking for love in all the wrong places, as they say. If you want to fix the solution, your void is spiritual, then fill it with something spiritual. Right? People say, oh, so you're going to tell me to do the dhikr, you're telling me to do ibadah, and that will make me feel better? I can't even stand up for 2 rakat, nothing. Yeah, today you can. But get into the field, and once you start feeling the pleasure of ibadah, you'll never turn back. You'll never want to turn back. But you got to give it a try. Right? You got to give it a try. You got to immerse yourself in ibadah the same way that you immerse yourself in the internet. And then tell me. Right? And then tell me that it didn't make a difference in your life. And then tell me that you're not satisfied. And then tell me you're not happier in your life. And then tell me, and the type of destruction, this type of internet, I'll tell you, even from a dunyawi perspective, forget about ruining your akhirah. That's given. That's like a given. People are not going to make, they're absolving themselves, and they're distancing themselves from the beatific vision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the Day of Judgment. I don't know why. Why would you want to trade looking at the filth of this world for looking at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hereafter? It just doesn't make any sense. But even in the dunya, it's ruining lives. Marriages are being broken. People lie. People do ghiba. People get so used to looking at bad things and then pleasuring themselves that they're not able to even satisfy their partners. Right? Marriages fall apart. Relations fall apart. People cheat on each other. People lead duplicitous lives of hypocrisy. It's just really, it's a net. It's exactly what it is. It's a net, and it grabs you and you get stuck. Right? How do you get out? So that's why I talked about cancer in the beginning. Right? I spent a little bit talking about cancer. How do you get rid of this cancer in your life? You need to have surgical excision with wide margins. What is it? Surgical excision with wide margins. What does that mean? I can tell you you should put Net Nanny on your computer and move your computer into a public spot. You know what? I've tried these things, and these things don't work. If you want to get it out of your life and you're serious about it, take the internet and cancel it from your life. That is the safe route. Take the internet and cancel it from your life. And it's really, in many ways, it's like TV. People when I tell them that I haven't watched TV, God knows, probably more than a decade, right? I haven't had a TV. And then people are they look at you as how can you live without a TV? But I'll tell you, once the TV is out of your life, you'll never miss it. In the beginning, there's this period where your nafs acts up a little bit. But once you kick music out of your life, TV out of your life, you're so much more happy. You're so much more at peace. You're so much more, you actually live life, right? You're full. You're alive. It's just awesome. But you have to experience it. You have to kick it out of your life. And I don't even think now, right? I don't have a TV, right? For other people, it might seem so weird. Internet, in many ways, is the same way. You kick it out of your life, you won't miss it. You won't miss it. I was just for Hajj for 3 weeks now? Completely no internet access, right? No internet access. I didn't have internet access until I came back to Abu Dhabi en route back to the US, where I had to check my work emails, just make sure that, nothing catastrophic had happened. And you know what? Nothing catastrophic happened. Right? I can be a resident at one of the best hospitals in the country, right? With students and all these type of responsibilities would lay on my shoulders, with 3 children, and whatever responsibilities you can put on my shoulders. And if I can do 3 weeks without internet and nothing really happens, then why can't anyone else? With less responsibilities, right? They're less encumbered. There's less things on the line, right? Why can't you? When I was in my final year of hadith studies in South Africa, I was in med school, right? So people you're in med school, so it's very important, I'm going to get important emails. I probably went through the entire year without, you could probably count on one hand, the amount of times I had to check my email. And that's because I was actually applying for residency programs. I had to do my personal statement and stuff. And you know what? In 1 year, nothing happened. The sky didn't fall. My life didn't fall apart. Everything was just kept on going. Right? Life doesn't stop for you. Right? You keep on thinking that something, amazing is going to happen on the internet, and I have to check my email every 5 minutes or every 20 minutes, and people are just they're addicted. Like something really important is going to happen. Believe me, if something important happens, someone will let you know. Right? I was working at the hospital when the swine flu epidemic happened. Right? Someone else came and told me about the swine flu. Right? Because you just don't follow up with them. They're like, "Oh, you're a doctor and you don't know about the swine flu?" I said, "Okay, now I know about it." Right? Now I know about it. If something is important, the news will come to you. Our Shaykh al-Hadith, who taught us Muslim, he went 16 years without reading the newspaper. Right? What, his life stopped? He's such a neik individual, such a righteous individual, that when he speaks, there's ta'asir in his words. Right? And why? Because you cut out all this noise from your life, then you actually have a chance to actually concentrate on Allah. You draw on yourself that this person killed this person, that person killed this one, this person has an affair with this person, and there's this oil spill and this, and not like you actually do anything about it. Right? And if I were to ask anyone in the room that what happened in the news last week, they'd be hard-pressed. I don't really remember. Right? Then what was the point? All you did was drown your mind in news that just drowned out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and drowned out yourself from the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's actually very detrimental, and it actually desensitizes people. Back in the day, if there was like one murder, it would be like front page. Right? Like in the 50s or 40s, it was like a really big deal because people couldn't imagine another person could actually raise a gun and actually kill another individual because it's so inhuman. But since now that you've heard it, 50 times every single day, then even to you it's not a big deal. Oh yeah, another person died. Oh yeah, another catastrophe. Oh yeah, there's another, massacre in this country. Oh, it's just people, they're just dying. Right? You lose that human sense. Understand that if you cut your internet out of your life will not stop. Okay, this is for those people who know that they have a problem with the internet, and which is like almost everybody, right? There's only like a few slaves of Allah that you can think of who actually, use the internet responsibly. And for them, inshallah, you use it for every good purpose. And people, then shaitan is coming to you. But then I won't be able to read all the good Islamic articles. Go and become a hafiz, right? Right? Yeah, you won't read 2 articles, but you'll become a hafiz, inshallah. And you won't commit spiritual suicide every single day. Right? Because that's how the internet works. You go to check the news, and then in the corner there's some pop-up, and the person says, "Oh, I wonder what happened over there," and that goes to somewhere else, and then that goes to some YouTube video, and then on the side there's some other thing, and before you know it, you're somewhere where you never even had imagined you wanted to go there. Right? And then after that you do things that you never imagined that you wanted to do, and then you come out and you're like, "Oh my God, what just happened here?" Right? It's just like a whirlwind. And it happens day in and day out, day in, day out. If you want to get the internet out of your life, I mean the plague of internet out of your life, cut it out of your life, cancel your, subscription, right? And with wide margins. Don't give yourself access. You need to check your email, go once a week to your friend's house, or to your parent, in front of your parents on the house computer, which is sitting in front of everyone else, or go to the library in front of everyone else, check your email once a week. That's fine. That's plenty. If you have a problem, that's what, drastic problems require drastic measures. This is a drastic measure. Cut it out of your life. Check your email once a week, once every 2 weeks, right? If you have to do some report for people say, "Oh, but I'm in college." If you look at how much research you actually do for your kitab, like people don't even read the textbook, right? Read your books, do your problems, prepare for class. If you look at how much time if you actually did have a research project and you actually need to look it up, then just go to the library. It's a little bit inconvenient, right? But it's a lot safer. It's a lot safer. Distance yourself, that's what we mean by creating a wide margin. If you do that, right? Inshallah, you will see a huge, huge impact in your life. And then once it becomes under control, then you can even consider bringing it back in your life, right? Once you're also, responsible about it. But if a person has a problem, then at least for a year, however many months you need to get over it, just cut it out of your life. The final thing is sometimes what happens with some individuals, when the cancer gets really bad, right? What happens, it gets all over the body. What do you need to do? You can't cut it out with surgery. The surgeon can't do that because it's all over the body now. When some person is really, really, really stuck on the internet, right? Then what does the surgeon do, or what do they refer them to? They refer them to radiation oncology, or the oncologist, and they give them chemoradiation, chemotherapy, and radiation. Our chemoradiation is in Makkah Mukarramah. Right? So if you're really in a problem, right, and you're really just so filthy that you just can't get out of it, then find a righteous individual and go to the haram and spend some time there. Right? Just stay in the i'tikaf, cut that stuff off, and let the nur and the tajalli'at that are descending upon that place serve as your radiation therapy. It will cleanse you in a very amazing way, right? But that's like, that's the big gun. Right? That's the big gun. First try this, right? Just cancel it, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all tawfiq. And the reason I spent so much time talking about this is because most of the issues are just this. Everything is just related to internet, right? This and not the cell phone, or Shaykh, he used to call it the hell phone, right? And in many ways it is the hell phone. Even the people who use it responsibly, if you look at how many minutes that you use in a month, right? If you're using up 1,400 minutes, 3,000 minutes, friends and family free, this and that, that's all time that you spent away from the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala generally. And most people, wives are talking to this guy and getting into a relationship with that guy when their husband's not at home, and just families breaking apart. It's just, there is problem about cell phones, but perhaps that's a different topic for a different day. But this is like, if you talk about the top 10 tools of shaitan, internet is probably is definitely like probably top 3, right, in this day and age. So just cut it out, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to take these things which distract us from getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of our lives, and may He grant us the istiqamah and the strength to make the right decisions in our lives, and may He allow our hearts, our eyes, and our lives to become completely pure and focused on Him and Him alone, because ultimately that's where pleasure lies. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.